Code Red selected.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Code Red, and I am back with another one. So listen, man, before we even get started, I just want to tell you guys happy Thanksgiving, and I hope the break was great for you guys. I hope you spent a lot of time with your family and ones that you love. This season is all about being around those special people, and so I just hope that it was really great for you guys. Okay. So let's get into it, man. Over the break, unless you've been under a rock, we know that there has been information that has been leaked. And again, this is just leaked information. There's nothing confirmed yet about it. But we have information that DLC 3 for Mortal Kombat 1 has been canceled. Now, basically, it was saying that with the sales being so low with the recent DLC in Chaos Reigns, that they basically just scrapped the idea, or at least what was planned to be DLC 3. So they're going back to the drawing board in some way, shape, or form. This news sucks. It really does suck. Me, I'm not. I play MK, obviously. I play all fighting games. And MK is one of the big ones, right? It's one of the big games, along with like your Tekken and your Street Fighter. But I'm not as big on MK, at least in recent years, as I was in the past. However, I did play some MK1, and even previously before that, I played a lot of MKX, and a lot of MK9, and I played a lot of the Injustice games. Now, this news obviously just sucks in general, but it brings up some interesting questions and like some thoughts about what the future may hold just for NetherRealms in general, honestly. I know you guys have been seeing online a lot of people talking about the information and them saying where the game has gone wrong. And the thing is, if I was to sit down and talk about it, I probably could be talking all day. And I have a lot of theories and I have a lot of thoughts about what happened to MK1. But this is not that kind of video. I thought I would give y'all maybe like a little bit of a breath of fresh air and talk about something a little different as it pertains to MK1 and just NetherRealm Studios in general. So I kind of want to stay away from giving my thoughts on why the game went wrong, because we are seeing that a lot. And instead, I want to focus on, if these things are true, where NetherRealm should go from here, like what they should do. I've gathered three big options that kind of sum up everything for the most part, and what I think MK or NetherRealm should do. And one of them obviously being one that I might not like as much, all the way to the one that I feel is most likely, or the one that I think puts them in the best position, right? So let's just get started on it. First option, and this option for me is the one I like least, but it is an option, and that is to just restart everything again. Now, the thing is with restarting everything again, so there is positives to it, right? You can go to the drawing board, you can create something fresh and something new as it pertains to Mortal Kombat, and you can basically have free roam. You can have a freedom and creativity to do whatever you want because you're starting from fresh, right? Starting from scratch. So new ideas come in, you brainstorm, you come up with different concepts and different things that, you have a lot more freedom when you do that. The problem is that when MK or NetherRealms came back on the scene heavy when they launched MK9, that was the big reboot, right? That was what basically sent us all the way back and restarted the franchise. And after that, you were followed up with the multiple Injustice, you were followed up with MKX and MK11 and so on and so forth. So when MK1 came out, that was in a way another reboot. So what is going to happen is that we're going to constantly get into this situation to where it feels like we keep pressing the restart button, and eventually your audience will get tired of that, right? We're going to get tired of seeing, okay, when things go wrong, or when we want to shift a little bit, we're just going to restart. That's the thing that I think that while it is an option, I don't think it's the best choice in this matter. I just don't. I think that they should stay with what they have and just go forward. They shouldn't restart. But that is an option. Moving forward, another option, and this one I feel, I mean, it could be okay. And that would be to introduce or reintroduce in some way, either maybe a more updated version of Shaolin Monk's game, better graphics, maybe improve gameplay, add to the story, just basically, how they do up-to-date versions of a game, remakes of a version of a game that's already existed, right? That is an option, or just make a sequel in general to the Shaolin Monks. I know a lot of people have been wanting that. I wouldn't mind it at all. But the problem that you run into with that one is that fighting games are so hot right now. They're so hot right now. And I think that if you were to do that, the problem that you would have is that you would be missing out on so many opportunities as it falls under the fighting game genre, right? Fighting games are hot right now. So I think that NetherRealms, they need to keep their hand in that pot. You know what I mean? Keep their hand in that pot and, try to get theirs. 2025 is going to be a hot year when it comes to fighting games. And I just think that NetherRealm, if they choose to go the route of, creating like a Shaolin Monks remake or a Shaolin Monks 2, or just even some original idea under the Mortal Kombat umbrella that's kind of a spin-off of the fighting game, I think that they would be selling themselves a little short, just considering how hot fighting games are. 2025, you're going to see 2XKO, you're going to see Fatal Fury. Going into Evo, I think I predict this is going to be one of the biggest Evos ever, as far as announcements and surprises and things like that. I think we're going to see some stuff. I really do. I'm predicting. I really believe that 2025 is going to be a crazy year, and I think that NetherRealms is just going to miss out if they decide to go another route in creating something that is not a fighting game. So because of that, wouldn't mind, but think they need to stay in the fighting game realm. But that is an option. Lastly, and to me, this is what I consider the most likely and what I want the most. That is to either, hear me out, either go and do another MK versus DC. Now, I know when you think about MK versus DC, it wasn't what we expected, really. But the thing is that NetherRealm they do really well, is that they will create something, they will start something, and then whether it does good or it doesn't, they continue to build on the idea that they originally generated. They're really good at that. So like, they will make something, put it in a game slightly, and then as time goes on, you will see it constantly show up in other games, but it's like they're constantly perfecting it until they launch something new that fully implements what they've been trying to do for years. They are really good at that. I think that some type of crossover like that would be something fresh. It would be something new. And I think that they have put themselves in a position to where they look at that game and they see where they went wrong. And I feel like they wouldn't repeat that with that kind of game. Especially now, crossovers are going to be a big thing, I think, in the next 5 years. There's rumored to be a lot of crossovers coming out, a lot of, versus games. And I think that they could really capitalize on that and really be one of the first ones to really start pushing forward with that idea, because I think the next 5 years is going to be big for crossovers. I really do. And I think they won't make the same mistake. I think that they've had enough time to perfect that idea. And I mean, you have it right there, right? You have DC, you have Mortal Kombat. It's a perfect match. I mean, it is. So, and with all the things that they've been doing in these other games under their belt, I think there's so much stuff can go into that game. So much stuff can go into that game, and just make it work. And Injustice 3. Man, Injustice 2, I've said this before, and Kizzy Gay actually has said something similar, where he said that it was like something like he considered, since MK9 Injustice was the best NRS game that they have put out, and I agree 100%. I said Injustice. Did I say Injustice 3? Whatever. Injustice 2 was the biggest NRS game that they had put out since MK9. I agree 100%. 100%. People can say what they want, and I know, especially on the competitive scene, Injustice 2 started to become a game in which people felt became a zoner game. The map was so huge, and a lot of the tiers started to go into the favor of the zoning based characters. And so, on the competitive scene, people started to complain about that. But in the beginning and before, like close to the end, the competitive scene was hot, right? It was blowing up. People were big on the game. The sales were through the roof on that game. I think the game was like around 2 million copies sold overall. And then of course Injustice 1 did really well for a game that was new, right? Newly featured, and newly put out there as a fresh idea. Those games did so well, and they were so well received. I don't see why we're waiting so long to do it again. Like, honestly, I thought that once we did MKX, when MK11 came out, I was like, okay, I really thought that we were going into Injustice after that. I really did, because I don't know. I just felt like that game, the 2 did so much. That game was so good and so big. And I think that right now, if you guys want to go the restart route, this probably would be the best way to do it without truly restarting. It gives you a time to put something out that is going to sell like hotcakes. People are going to be amped for, and it gives you a chance to go back and work on your baby MK, right? I think Injustice 3 is the best option, and I think that puts them in the best position to do the things that they want to do. We know it's going to be a success. We know it's not going to flop. I mean, and in comics are huge, right? With all of the superhero stuff, it's really big right now. And I think that DC coming out and doing the Injustice thing would be hot. It would be hot. Just imagine that, something like that being teased on a grand stage for some tournament. People would lose their minds. Like, let's be honest, guys. But overall, I think that it's time that we give MK a break. I think that MK as a franchise needs some time to sit and simmer, because this MK1, I don't want to call it a disaster. I just think that with all that was riding on it, and all that we anticipated and what we thought the game could be, it wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, and I'm not gonna ramble on it because I said I wasn't gonna do it, but this wasn't. It wasn't. There's so many errors and things that they went wrong in it. First and foremost, I just think that with the DLC, pricing of the DLC was crazy. I had a buddy who talked about that, and he couldn't believe the price on this stuff. And of course, you've had markdowns since the holidays, but it's just like, oh, you got a game that's struggling, and you putting out a product that is, you buying a new game. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just very bold, I feel like. And in a lot of ways, that's not all on NetherRealm Studios. Obviously, we know that. But unfortunately, NetherRealms gets the black eye for it, right? We know that, they're going to get the black eye for it. So, but I'm not finna go into all of that because I can go on forever. But those are the 3 options that I see with this pushing forward with NRS. And I really think that Injustice 3 is the best route. And I think that sets them up for the best future. I do. That's just my honest opinion. So let me know what you guys think, man. Get in the comment section. What do you think is the future of NetherRealms? Where do they go from here? What do you think they should do? How do you feel about my 3 options? Do you agree? Do you have other options? Just let me know. Get in that comment section, guys. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. All right? Code Red out.
Code red. Selected.